cows have no business being stuck in a goddamn building that is from here to the next block down with their neck stuck in a collar. Enjoy your goddamn life. Let the coyotes get you or whatever.
Animals deserve abuse?
I mean, I know I do.
You deserve abuse?
Sure, why not?
Why do you deserve abuse?
Ah, it's fun.
It's fun. Okay, so it's consensual abuse then that you like.
Sure.
Okay, cool. I can go with that. What about other animals?
Why do animals deserve? Are you just? Is this like just a conversation starter?
I mean, it
Do
can
you believe
be.
that?
I might believe this. I'm looking
Well, it
for
says
proof
prove
against
me
it.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm looking for proof. I'm. Would you believe that I'm agnostic on the issue?
Sure.
So what's your stance on it? I'm looking for people's
Well, I
opinions.
don't think anybody deserves abuse, animal or human.
Okay, why not?
Because I don't. I mean, I think that, especially if we're talking about animals, they can't reason out like human beings, so they don't know like what their actions. I mean, they don't know their action, the consequences of actions.
So like if they do something wrong, then they don't necessarily know why they're
may
having
not,
a bad time of it. Okay.
No. Or we're seeing their actions in our construct as a human being.
Okay.
You know, and replacing our, what would you call it? Like our values, our perceptions, our, I don't know.
We're putting our way of life onto
an animal, but like, you know, like in some cases, like with dogs, like it's their nature to be hunters, but yet we, you know, put them in situations that they're just acting on their natural instincts, and we expect them to be different, and we shouldn't.
So I find
Does that make
this
sense?
very interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and for two reasons. One is, my heart tells me that you have a very loving heart. So this is
I think so
Okay.
too. I think
Okay.
you're just
And so
you're
then-
drumming
so
up
then- so then-
conversation.
So then the second piece is,
Uh-huh.
how interesting would it be? Animals deserve love.
I think that would be really interesting, especially with the "prove me wrong" bit at the bottom.
Yes.
I don't know which would generate more conversations about this, but I would say that you're onto something there because I think that the two are kind of intertwined issues. What do you
Because
think about that?
you know what the biggest piece is?
What?
Everybody needs a hug of freaking animals.
Aw.
Everybody needs a hug, okay? Everybody
He
needs
just
to
he just
be
gave a
loved.
birthday gift to a dog down there that's
Oh,
16
really?
years old.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's
he
very
gave her he
sweet.
gave her $5.
That's so sweet.
So with that,
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want a hug?
yeah,
I'll give you a
can
hug.
do this?
Sure.
Okay. So with this,
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
I
I don't expect to get hugs when I'm carrying this sign around.
Here, I want a hug too.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
What's
So-
your name?
My name's Luke. What are your
Luke?
names?
Glenda?
Glenda?
Scotty.
Scotty?
Scotty.
Nice to meet you both.
So
here.
with
Yeah,
that,
nice meeting you.
I have
Okay, so
proved you wrong.
so tell
Okay.
me why you have this sign out here. Why are you out here?
So it seems clear to me that you both feel that animals should not be abused, right?
True.
Do you think that it's possible to be like against abuse when we are paying industries that abuse animals to continue to exist?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. How does that track? Like in a consistent way?
I think it's a not knowing piece
Uh-huh.
or not caring.
Okay.
Because, we're not. I don't give a fuck what happens to the animals. I got a life to live.
Okay.
It doesn't directly affect me. I'm staying in
And
my
yet it
lane,
does.
and it does, right?
But you
Yeah.
said that nobody deserves the abuse, right? That's
Sure.
the
Right.
first thing that you said, or
Yeah,
that you
and
said,
I said
and you
that,
seem
yeah.
to agree with that, right? So, how can you not care in that way, but also hold the view simultaneously that nobody deserves to be abused? That's kind of what I'm getting at with this sign. Is I think that there's a bit of a cognitive dissonance there, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
And how do you pull the two closer together when they're so far apart?
Yeah. So can you think of what it would be like to be in a situation where you're being abused against your will? I know this. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I was being smart.
Oh, okay. You're not into like
I
BDSM, that
personally
sort of
have
thing.
been
No?
in
I
relationships.
never know.
Yeah,
I personally have been in relationships where I feel like I've been emotionally abused against my will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that experience, do you think that it's possible for us to have empathy for others who are in experiences where they're being abused?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think
that
that's
is
an
actually
important
my
thing?
career.
That's your career.
That's my career.
Are you're
I do
like
supervise
social...
visitations and exchanges for families that are in high conflict.
Oh.
And so my supervisors and myself go out and we make sure that everything that's said and done around the children is appropriate for the visiting with that non-custodial parent.
Wow, that's
So
an amazing line of work to be in.
There's been a lot of abuse in those situations.
Yeah. So
Emotional
do you feel for those who are in those situations?
Absolutely. I wouldn't do this work if I didn't.
Yeah. So I would ask, do you also feel for animals that are in those situations that aren't humans?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. They don't have they didn't choose to be in that situation, just like the children didn't choose to be in that situation between those two adults.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times animals can get caught up in that as well.
So would you pay for a human child to be put into a situation that is abusive to them?
Would I pay for a child to be that?
Would you pay for that?
No, I wouldn't give a cent towards that.
Do you pay for animals to be put into situations that are abusive for them?
Sure, we do every day because of the industries that actually in so many layers, whether it's through
You mean like the places that they come from, or what? Are there shelters and
the laboratory testing. For
that's an example. That's a really good
laboratory
example.
testing.
Okay. I'm thinking of like doggy mills.
That's another good example. Yeah,
food testing, biological testing, human testing. Right, they're going to use animals before they're going to use humans to kind of like. And is it a saving grace for us? And am I okay with that versus burning an animal versus burning a human? Yeah, I guess. Would I rather some humans get burned versus animals? Yes. I'm sorry, man. It's just I'm a twisted fuck.
It goes back to what we said at the beginning, where like animals can't necessarily know that they're doing something wrong or that they're in a situation like that. But whereas humans kind of can. Like people have asked me before, like, would you rather see a dog suffer or see a human suffer? And I would say, for the most part, it depends on the human. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Like,
that's my point.
So, see, I have a little bit of different perspective.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Because I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So it's farm country, Amish country, right?
Yeah.
And so I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
And I was taught animals are animals, right? Then I moved to Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, welcome.
Where animals are like family.
Yeah.
And it is a whole different world for me. And my friend here knows this because I was in a relationship with a friend of his where his animals are like his children.
Yeah.
And it was so foreign to me because in my world that I grew up in,
if a cat's on the hood of your car and it's scratching your paint job,
they walk away,
the
but they would walk away. They wander away from the farm. They may never come back because they got hit by a car, they got eaten by an animal, another animal, whatever. Animals are animals. So it's a very different experience to come to Boulder County and experience people who are seeing animals like this is my family member.
Is one of those perspectives more? Does one of them connect with you in a more authentic way? Do you feel like you identify more with one of those two perspectives?
I think I understand both of them.
Yeah.
Me personally, having lived here for quite some time, I've been here since like 98. Mm-hmm. And so having lived here and being in relationships with people who have animals that are like family members, I've learned how to accept animals to my world with that type of relationship, and with a little bit more empathy. I don't know if I'm 100% there, like the ex was or other people, but I definitely feel like I recognize that they don't have, sometimes they just don't have choices, like children don't have choices.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at, but. What are you representing an agency, or are you?
I'm out here by myself. I made this sign for $1.50 with stuff that I got at the Art Parts Resource Store.
Oh yeah. That's an awesome place,
great
isn't
store.
it?
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
So
the Arts Parts. Oh my God! I did a visit there.
I'm just out here having conversations, trying to talk to people about this, about animals, about whether they deserve the things that we as a society and as individuals we put them through.
That's awesome.
Do you personally pay for animals to be put into these situations where they're abused?
Do I personally pay?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, unknowingly.
Knowingly.
I don't knowingly know that I'm paying to put them into a situation, but I mean, are there situations that I'm paying for that they are going into that?
I would guess that there are. Yes.
Well,
I
you
would
probably
guess
would
that there
know
are.
more than I would.
But do you want to hear about it?
Sure.
Okay.
Tell me what.
So, what I'm guessing is the thing that you maybe multiple times a day contribute to is their use in food products.
Like milk?
Like milk,
Cheese.
like cheese,
All dairy products.
like
How am I paying
like
for that?
eggs. You're buying those products, aren't you?
And when you buy them, you're now abusing the cows. You're buying the beef. Like, okay, my
How,
nickname.
how am
here,
I abusing
here,
the
here.
cheese with cheese and?
So I'm going to be straight up.
I
I'm just
mean,
gonna,
buying
Go for it.
buying
My nick-
meat. I can see that.
My nickname is Meat Boy.
Meat Boy is your nickname,
Yeah, I love
and
meat.
it's not a BDSM name. No.
No.
We would have gone through that.
Come on, get down over here. So we're going to go have dinner, and she wants
And I
protein.
said I
This is
need
kinda-
protein.
Right. So, yes, we both know, and I get the piece.
Yeah,
I
I
used to
guess
be
I
a
just-
vegan. Okay.
Oh, you used
So,
to be?
Yes. So I get this whole piece
Uh-huh.
of the yes. It is the whole like veal. I've never eaten veal in my life. Why? Because of the abuse piece. Okay.
That's
Good for
interesting.
you.
If
I
you
mean,
consume
yeah.
dairy though, because
Right. Yeah,
veal is a
yeah.
direct
But
consequence
dairy
of
is
the dairy
not.
industry.
How is that abusive?
So
it's
how-
it's taking milk from a cow. You're not hurting the
No,
cow.
it's extremely hurtful.
Yeah. Why don't
Because
you-
the
why don't you take
cows,
it, yeah.
and I'll give I'll give the uneducated piece, and then you can kind
Okay,
of
cool.
uneducated.
Okay.
Cows have no fucking business being stuck in a goddamn building that is from here to the next fucking block down, with their neck stuck in a fucking collar, getting feed
So it's
and
the
having
treatment. It's the treatment of how you
which
collect
is the
it.
abuse of the treatment. Right. That's my piece
Do you know why cows and other mammals produce milk?
for the babies.
For the young.
Yeah, and so in order to have a baby, they have to be impregnated, right?
Yeah.
And so the dairy industry, in order to be a profitable industry, they actually have to forcibly impregnate these cows. Some people go to the extent of calling it rape. I would consider it to be that because it's something that they can't consent to, and they're being sexually manipulated in that way. And so they'll carry their baby. The baby will be born. If the baby is a female, then she'll be taken to an isolation hutch where she will be kept, and then once she's old enough, impregnated for the same purpose. And if the baby's a male, then they'll either go into the veal industry, or sometimes they're not even profitable enough that way, and they'll just be shot on sight.
Okay, so are there some places that don't do that to cows?
If there are, then they are not profitable. You're not buying from them, and you can't get them around here.
Okay.
If that exists,
Well, I mean, I'm from Lancaster County, so it's
Yeah.
farm country.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that where I'm from, it's a lot more humane than where I've seen, because I have several friends that are
Yeah.
dairy farmers and
Yeah.
such.
So,
and
yeah.
and so I don't know that I see what's going on there as being inhumane to those animals, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is that Lancaster County has also been really targeted in the past few years of. I think it was through Oprah too, because of the dog mills. And I have a cousin who actually owns. That was his business, is raising
breeding.
puppy,
Right,
breeding and
breeding
raising
dogs.
puppy.
Yeah.
But he did it the right way, and it was like it really ended up hurting his business because he was trying to do it in the way that it's humanely, for these dogs, but still with the publicity, I think he got out of the business actually
I would ask.
because of it. So I don't know.
I would ask with
there's a lot
respect to
of
the cows.
Yeah. Let's talk about cows.
With respect to the cows, is there a way to because at the end of the dairy cow's life, they're also killed far before their natural lifespan, which is about 30 years. Usually it's about 5 or 6 years. On like a humane farm, it's going to be 7 or 8. So it still is a fraction of their normal lifespan that their bodies will become fatigued and they'll become considered spent and then sent to a slaughterhouse. Do you think that there is a humane way to kill an animal that doesn't want to die before their time?
No,
You don't?
no,
No.
I think they should be put out to pasture, enjoy your goddamn life. Let the coyotes get you or whatever. Let nature kind of take its course. I
This
I don't
is a
even
hard
think it's
one. That's a
humane to
hard
die to a
one.
coyote. I don't
Right,
think
right,
that's
no, I
an
know.
idea.
I would rather see that than to see them being slaughtered the way
Yeah.
mankind
Yeah.
does it. Put them on a chain, hanging upside down.
Yep.
It's just,
That's exactly
it's
how it's done.
horrible. Right.
Yeah.
It's horrible then. Look, you're talking to a sick fuck I have stopped my van in the middle of Main Street and 3rd in Longmont. Stopped my work van, got out in the road, blocked all the traffic, caught a goddamn turkey that escaped the turkey plant right next door. Caught him, drove 10 miles up into the mountains,
Wow.
let him go,
You rescued that
just
turkey.
so that
Yeah.
he could wander off, probably die the next day because some other animal's going to get him. But at least he had a moment of Mother Nature. I'm like, oh my God.
Right on.
Yeah, it's just, yes, it is difficult, man.
Yeah.
It's just,
It really is.
you know what I love?
What?
Your love for animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
It's very
Here,
endearing.
I want to get a picture of the two
Yeah,
of you guys.
please.
This is an awesome conversation. You ready? Smile. Okay.
You're
Thank you.
Yeah,
amazing.
thanks a lot.
You live here in town?
I live in Boulder, yeah.
Thanks for being out here and
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah,
people about
I
this.
just, you know what? You're a blessing.
I've got something for you. You seem very passionate. You seem pretty receptive. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm recording this.
Oh, you are a blessing. Man.
So here, did you two? If you'd like, here are
thank
these.
you.
There's a lot of information in there about what the industries do for to the animals that I consider to be abuse, and I think most people would also consider to be abuse.
Yeah.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, for our health, for our nutrition, protein comes from plants. The animals eat the plants. We don't need the animals in order to get our nutrition. And so that means that it's really a choice that we're making for our own pleasure, right? And so I wouldn't kick a dog for my own pleasure,
Yeah.
I wouldn't beat an animal for my own pleasure. So why would I eat one for my own pleasure? And so I would encourage you to look into that. Go vegan. There are also documentaries online, but you seem like you're receptive enough to this message that maybe just a little bit of reading will do it for you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Thank
being
you.
out here.
I'm glad that you're. Tell me your
Appreciate
names
it.
again.
It's good to-
Scotty.
Scotty and
Glenda,
Glenda.
like the good witch.
Like the good witch. You're a good witch, Glenda.
Glenda the good witch and Scotty the hottie.
Glenda the good witch.
Thanks, and enjoy your dinner. Maybe eat something vegan while you're there.
Thank you. Have a
Thanks,
good
man.
evening.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
May you be blessed. Thanks, brother.
Wow. They were so receptive, and they also saw right through my spiteful, hateful exterior right away. I can't fool anyone with this sign. Got too big a heart. Let's see who else we can get today.